People talk shit and say whatever they want to say, but look at Canelo. Canelo is still the man.
Yes.
You know?
He's been for a long, long time.
And he jumps in there and he does it and he goes to work, and it's hard to stay at that level for a very long time. And Canelo's another guy. I mean, what's this guy clipping 40 mil a fight?
Oh, I'm very hungry. I wanted this fight because this is going to solidify myself in the greatness status. You know, take big chances, big opportunities. That's what I'm all about.
Well deserved. It's been a long process, a beautiful career. And just between you and I, forget about the camera. When is this going to happen?
September.
All righty then. So for Mexican independence.
That's right.
All right.
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there. So that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
Go to decision as opposed to win the fight. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. He was boxing well, and then he just stopped doing what he was doing earlier. I don't know.
In a twist that's shaking the foundations of the boxing world, UFC President Dana White is stepping into the squared circle alongside Turki Alalshik to promote the inaugural TKO boxing event, and they're not starting small. The debut showcase will be nothing less than a generational showdown between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford, scheduled for September 12th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. This historic venue, home to the NFL's Las Vegas Raiders, will be hosting its first ever boxing event in what's being dubbed the fight of the century.
Dana White to promote Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Turki Alalshik announced that he and Dana White will both promote the highly anticipated boxing match between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. We will deliver the fight of the century or Riyadh season on September 12th at Las Vegas' Allegiant Stadium. The legend Canelo defends his ring magazine title versus the great Terence Crawford. TV platform will be announced soon, with big surprise. My brother Dana White will promote the first TKO boxing event with me. It'll be something crazy.
Fresh off reclaiming his IBF title against William Skull, Canelo Alvarez wasted no time setting the stage for his next battle. As the Mexican superstar stood victorious, Crawford climbed into the ring and fans erupted as the two undisputed champions faced off. It was the promotional kickoff for a bout that has the entire boxing community buzzing, not just because of the elite skill sets involved, but due to the enormous implications for both legacies.
Here it is, the official face-off. The date, September 12th, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. With the undisputed middle.
This event carries multiple firsts. Not only is it the debut of the TKO boxing banner, a venture from the minds behind the WWE and UFC merger, it's also shaping up to be one of the most ambitious cross-platform productions in combat sports history. While the TV broadcasting partner is yet to be confirmed, strong industry rumors point to Netflix being the chosen platform. The streaming giant already has experience with crossover combat events, having partnered with the TKO group for WWE content and the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, as well as the upcoming Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3 in July.
I've been beating up big dudes all my life.
Because they underestimate your bud.
It's just, even if they didn't, I'm going to beat you up. You know, I can fight.
Right.
You know, so if you watch, like, all these dudes bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't care. But I'm going to find a way to win, no matter what.
In September, are you going to pull this? I shook up the world. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you.
Definitely. That's definitely gonna be, you know what I mean, one of the moments, you know. I need the doubters to fuel me. What you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's gonna make me more focused and turn into a different animal. So I need the people to say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not.
On paper, the fight itself is a fascinating contrast in styles, sizes, and career trajectories. Canelo Alvarez, the reigning Ring Magazine super middleweight champion, enters the bout as the naturally bigger man. The 33-year-old Mexican icon has been dominant at 168 pounds, and even ventured up to light heavyweight in previous bouts. Crawford, on the other hand, will be jumping up 2 full weight divisions, having last fought at super welterweight when he defeated Madrimov. Many observers are watching closely to see how the move to 168 pounds affects the 37-year-old Nebraskan, who has already made history as a 2-time undisputed champion.
He's the bigger, he's the stronger, he's the most powerful fighter. These are the things that they said about Spence, you know, so we all know what Canelo brings to the table. We all know that Canelo went up to 175. We all know that. But we don't know how Crawford can compete with Canelo. We don't know. So we know what to expect when we see Canelo come into the ring and when Canelo fights, but we don't know what to expect when we see Crawford, because we never seen Crawford at this weight before. We never seen Crawford take a punch by a bigger guy like Canelo that's punching. We never seen it. So the thing is, we know Crawford can box.
Reactions from the boxing world have been varied and deeply opinionated. Jaron Boots Ennis initially viewed the fight as a toss-up, but has since leaned toward Canelo, noting that Crawford may be biting off more than he can chew by taking such a massive leap without an interim fight. Ennis argued that Canelo's history of hurting bigger men, despite not being a natural super middleweight himself, makes him a dangerous opponent for Crawford, who has never fought someone of Canelo's size or power.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo. Because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down. And Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds. And he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. You know, it's going to be a great fight. You know, the fans want to see it. So, you know, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. You know, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, you know, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, you know, and things like that. You know, I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, you know, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Ryan Garcia, who was trained alongside Canelo in past camps, echoed that sentiment. Though he respects Crawford's skill, Garcia firmly believes that Canelo's mastery of his craft, combined with his physical advantages, will prove too much for Crawford. He cited Crawford's lackluster power display against Madrimov as a warning sign, and insisted that Canelo's timing and speed would ultimately overwhelm the American.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's going to be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali. He said
Rolly Romero took an even bolder stance, predicting that Crawford, despite his elite timing and boxing IQ, would find himself on the canvas. Comparing this scenario to Canelo's fight with Dimitri Bivol, Rolly noted that size played a pivotal role in that matchup, and he expects a similar result here. He visualized a brutal knockout, likening Crawford's potential downfall to Amir Khan's, when he was famously stopped by Canelo in devastating fashion.
So, all the people who think Crawford would even have a single chance against Canelo, they're fucking stupid.
Rolly, you have a way with words like nobody else.
No, bro. I hate it when people say that. They're fucking stupid.
Even legendary voices in boxing have weighed in with strikingly different perspectives. Roy Jones Jr. put it plainly, calling it Canelo's fight to lose, indicating that the onus is on Alvarez to maintain his composure and execute as expected.
Buddy Canelo?
Huh?
Buddy Canelo, who you got?
It's a tough fight. It's like I said, it's Canelo's fight to lose,
If he fight the wrong fight, he gonna lose.
Julio Cesar Chavez, one of Mexico's greatest ever fighters, didn't hold back either, saying Crawford is out of his league and predicting a knockout victory for Alvarez. To Chavez, this isn't a contest of equals. It's a cash grab for Crawford and a straightforward win for Canelo.
Bueno, es una pelea muy dispareja, la verdad. Crawford es un gran peleador, pero no tiene nada que hacer en ese peso. Con todo respeto, él va por el dinero y Canelo lo va a noquear.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford. But probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Not everyone agrees, though. Former cruiserweight world champion Tony Bellew thinks Crawford has the tools to pull off a minor upset. He pointed to Crawford's intelligence, sharpness, and ability to adapt as potential game changers. Bellew admitted that Canelo's pressure will be relentless, but believes that Crawford's speed and ring generalship could allow him to do just enough to steal a decision victory. He emphasized how focused Crawford has been on this fight for the past 2 years, suggesting that this is the moment he's been building toward. Bellew said, "His boxing brain is just so good that I just think he finds a way to get the job done. He's been talking about nothing but this fight for 2 years, and his focus towards Canelo tells me that his focus has been on this fight for a very long time. It will be tough. Canelo will be putting the pressure on non-stop, and Crawford will have to ride out some storms, but I just see him doing just enough and being that more clinical in a brilliant fight that he can win on points." Errol Spence Jr., Crawford's former opponent, offered a simple yet powerful take. He's backing Crawford. While he didn't commit to predicting a win, Spence praised Crawford's ambition, calling his leap up in weight a courageous move in the pursuit of greatness. In his eyes, if anyone can defy the odds and shock the world, it's Crawford.
I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
Virgil Ortiz Jr., another rising star in boxing, leaned toward a clear victory for Canelo. His views centered around Crawford's size disadvantage and lack of experience against larger opponents. Ortiz acknowledged that Crawford can gain weight, but emphasized that simply gaining pounds isn't the same as belonging in the weight class. He also pointed out that Crawford tends to get hit, and against someone like Canelo, that could be catastrophic.
Canelo being the bigger guy on the front foot, Terrence being able to crack with both hands, but also have that lateral movement. I think it's going to be an interesting style. I don't think it's going to be as decisive as you think, but you know Canelo a little better than I do, but I think it'll be really close.
Here's the thing. I mean, and I can debate on this. I don't know if we have enough time, but and I know I'm going to get some shit for saying this because of me, but Crawford gets hit. He does. Yeah. He gets hit like everybody else. Sometimes he gets hit pretty clean. If you get hit clean by Canelo, that's not good. You know, it's really not good, whoever you are. And Canelo's fast. It's not like he's a slow puncher. He will catch you off guard. Yeah. And I mean, it's just different.
Interestingly, even Alexander Usyk, who initially backed Crawford, has now walked back his prediction. Usyk praised Crawford's ambidextrous skill set and ability to read distance, but later admitted that the matchup is too close to call. He labeled it a true 50-50 contest, a sentiment that reflects how even experts are unsure what will happen when these two titans collide.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terrence Crawford. Yeah. How do you see that fight? Who do you like?
Terrence, it's
wow,
my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terrence win. Yes.
What? Terrence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terrence win. But listen, Terrence, it's different man. Terrence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
And
right,
switch hitter. He's a switch hitter. Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very, very, very smart. But feel distance and plays like
Adjustments.
spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why I'm asking exactly.
But, Canelo big, yeah, Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say.
Wow. Oscar De La Hoya, who promoted Canelo for a decade, offered perhaps the most dramatic endorsement of Canelo's power. While he acknowledged that a Crawford win would be historic enough to warrant GOAT status, he couldn't see it happening. De La Hoya described Canelo as a heavy puncher who will likely weigh around 200 pounds on fight night. He warned that Crawford, while highly skilled, won't be able to deal with the physicality of a much bigger opponent. Nevertheless, he tipped his hat to Crawford's bravery in taking on such a monumental challenge.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations. With Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Teddy Atlas, a respected voice in boxing analysis, brought a more nuanced perspective. At first, he criticized those who downplayed Crawford's performance against Madrimov, noting that Madrimov may have been underrated. He went on to emphasize how boxing history has plenty of examples of smaller, more skilled fighters beating bigger, stronger ones. In his view, Crawford's timing, instincts, and versatility give him intangible advantages that could tip the scales in his favor. Atlas ultimately sided with Crawford, calling him a very special fighter who could turn the seemingly impossible into reality.
People are going to say Canelo's too big. He had trouble with a 154-pound guy when he went up from welterweight to that. So now he's going up to 168. Teddy, come on. How are you going to make an argument? You're going to make an argument to this, to the history of this sport, where little guys have been able to beat big guys, because you reverse it. You reverse who's got the advantage and the disadvantage. Yeah, the size, the power of Canelo, he's got the advantage. Then all of a sudden you go back and you say, wait a minute. The other guy's faster. The other guy's craftier. The other guy has more options. The other guy is slicker. Oh, well, maybe he's got the advantages. Like the first time Pacquiao fought De La Hoya. And I know De La Hoya was having trouble with weight and all that. I get it, and that's fair. But still, I remember I picked that one. Well, every once in a while I pick one right. I remember that I picked that one where Pacquiao's going to win. And I said, yeah, you're saying that De La Hoya's bigger, he's stronger. He's got the power edge, he's got this edge. But the other guy's quicker. And that's going to be an edge, and it was an edge. I'm one of the people that thinks Crawford is very, very special. I'm not saying Canelo's not, but I think he's special in a different way, where he's got instincts that not everyone has. Yeah. That it's the timing, it's the instinctual things, the X factors, the intangibles that he has. And I think they're going to show themselves. I really do. And I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait to see a smaller guy use those intangibles, use those X factors to beat a bigger guy.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both men, believes Crawford is far more dangerous than many are willing to admit. From Khan's perspective, it's not just about strength or size, it's about intelligence, and Crawford has plenty of it. He views Crawford's boxing IQ as a key weapon, one that allows the American to outthink opponents, adjust mid-fight, and capitalize on even the smallest mistakes. Khan has often spoken about the underestimated aspects of Crawford's game, particularly his power.
How much from sharing the ring with him and doing the camps with him, what benefits would Crawford had to be fighting against a bigger man? Is it the ring IQ, dominating the center? Like, what benefits do you think he has?
You need everything in the game. You need from your ring IQ, you need the movement, you need the power, you need the speed. And Crawford does hit hard. A lot of people don't give Crawford the credit for the punch power he has. But Crawford does hit hard. I mean, I've been in the ring with him. He's hit me hard. Obviously, the most powerful fighter in between the two is going to be Canelo, but I think Crawford still has enough power to hurt.
Recalling their own encounter, Khan stressed how unexpectedly hard Crawford punched and how that strength is often masked by his slick, strategic style. While Canelo clearly has the edge in physicality and size, Khan believes that Crawford's agility, sharp timing, and ability to control the fight's rhythm could potentially negate the Mexican's size advantage. To him, dismissing Crawford based solely on weight class would be a mistake, because the American brings a combination of finesse and force that could shift the fight in his favor.
Obviously, I'm going to support my boy, Terence Crawford. He's a good friend of mine. Obviously, we fought each other, but sometimes you put that to a side, and he shared the training camp with me last time. He spent some good time with me. I was at his house, and always shows love. So, look, he's one of the best fighters in the world. For him to go up 2 divisions is something I did back in the day when I was at the peak of my career after beating like Devin Alexander and all the big names. So, look, I wish him all the very best, and I think he can do it. You know what I mean? One thing about Terence Crawford, he has great box IQ. His IQ is so perfect where he'll see everything, so yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum is Bernard Hopkins, who remains skeptical about whether this fight is worth the risk for Crawford. While Hopkins respects what Crawford brings to the ring, he questions whether the move up in weight and the punishment that may come with it is a gamble worth taking. From Hopkins' perspective, this bout could exact a steep physical price on Crawford, one that may affect him far beyond just one night in the ring. He wonders whether the reward, primarily financial, outweighs the possible toll on Crawford's longevity, especially given Canelo's strength and experience at the weight. For Hopkins, the concern isn't about Crawford's ability, but about the long-term consequences of entering a fight that many see as physically lopsided.
Crawford cares about his life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic and makes sense and less life risking.
Jim Lampley also shares doubts about Crawford's readiness for such a challenge. Referencing Crawford's previous fight against Israel Madrimov, Lampley sees that performance as a cautionary tale. In his view, the adjustment to a higher weight class didn't come easily to Crawford, and the idea of jumping even further to face someone like Canelo is cause for concern. Lampley believes that while Crawford has exceptional talent, he may find himself limited by the physical differences between him and his opponent. Canelo's strength and comfort at super middleweight could neutralize the very tools Crawford usually relies on to dominate his opponents. Lampley doesn't question Crawford's heart or skill, but believes the move might compromise his usual effectiveness inside the ring.
What do you think about the fight now that you just witnessed Canelo Alvarez again in a masterclass performance?
I love Terence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting Madrimov, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough, and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots.
In contrast, Shakur Stevenson offers a more optimistic view. He acknowledges that this will be no easy task for Crawford, but he doesn't count him out. For Stevenson, if there's any fighter in the world who can defy expectations and pull off an upset against someone like Canelo, it's Crawford. He sees a path to victory through Crawford's ability to adapt and outthink his opponents. While Stevenson doesn't downplay Canelo's strengths, his size, his experience, and his ability to break down opponents, he believes Crawford's intelligence and versatility could allow him to rise to the occasion. In Stevenson's mind, the challenge is real, but so is Crawford's potential to meet it with brilliance.
I think it's very difficult. Canelo got the IQ, he got the size, he got the power, maybe. It's a very difficult fight, but I think if anybody could get it done, it's Terence Crawford.
This fight isn't just about belts or records, it's about legacy. If Crawford can pull off the upset, he'll become a 3-weight undisputed champion, a feat no male fighter has ever accomplished. But standing in his way is a man who has ruled multiple divisions, mastered his style, and routinely finds ways to win even when the odds seem stacked. As the countdown to September 12th begins, fans are left to wonder, will this be a coronation for Canelo or the crowning moment of Crawford's career? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.